In this video, we're going to talk about midpoint, specifically in the second degree. A midpoint is a point that is exactly in the middle of a line segment. It is equidistant from both the endpoints of the line segment, and it bisects the segment. What does that mean is we have a line segment. It has two endpoints, E1 and E2. The midpoint is exactly in the middle. It is the middle point of our line segment. It bisects. That just means it cuts it in half. So if you took like a stick and you broke it at the midpoint, you would have two equal parts. So this part would just equal this part. Okay, we have a formula that really just helps us find the midpoint. The only thing we need is the two endpoints. So once we know the endpoints, we can find the middle point. So how does this work? We take the x values of our two endpoints, so x1 and x2, we just add them together and divide by 2. We're essentially finding the number in between the x values. Same thing for the y's. We're finding the number in between the y's, and that's going to give us the middle number. So let's take a look at the formula in action with this example. We need to find the midpoint of the line segment L1 with the two endpoints. We have one endpoint is -1, -5, and the other endpoint is -7, 9. I like to label just to keep myself organized. So E1, I just made the -1, -5. My second endpoint, E2, is just -7 and 9. So if we look at this formula, remember, midpoint is a point. It has an x and a y component. So best thing to do is think about doing the x value or the x component first, then the y component. So if we look, let's do the x component first. I have -1 and -7. What number is between -1 and -7? Well, the formula does that for us. I add up the two values, the -1 and -7, right here, and I divide by 2. I can use my calculator to help me with this. So I'm going to make a fraction. I'll do -1 plus -7. Then I'm going to divide by 2. This is going to tell me the number in between -1 and -7, which in our case is -4. So this component turns into -4. I do the same thing for y, make a fraction. I take the y values, -5 and 9, -5 plus 9. I'm going to add them and divide by 2. It's going to give me the number in between them, which in our case is 2. So I have my x and y component of my midpoint. Thus, the midpoint of the line segment L1 is -4, 2. Remember, midpoint is a point, so you need an x and y component. I like to separate them. Look at the x values, then the y values. Find the number in between the endpoints for x and y components, and you're good. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.